and get started with our day. So just give me just one little second here. I'm not tech savvy by any means of the word, so and streaming on both doesn't strike me as something that's going to be easy for me. So nonetheless, going to try my best. Yeah, this is going to be rather difficult. Oh well. Try my best here, and we'll get started. It's okay. Just reacclimating. Everyone, deals with loss, and as hard as it was, this particular one for me, it will help me, be a stronger medium for others in the end, So I have to kind of just trust the process. All right. Hi, Kayla. I see you. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with our reading today. For those of you that just hopped on, I am also streaming from YouTube as well, so you're more than welcome to hop on there for this stream. Okay. I was meditating a little bit before hopping on, and a grandmother figure came through for me. For a very particular instance, and I think she's probably going to be the first one we hear from today, okay? Hi, Melissa. Nice to see you, hon. For those of you who are new here, please feel free to ask me any questions. I do not gatekeep, how mediumship works, and, I'm more than willing to explain my side of things and, things I've come across. So yeah, feel free to ask questions. All right, so let me see here. Yeah, so this could be a grandmother figure, and it's very likely that they could be a great-grandparent, actually, is what I'm hearing here. Also, I will go ahead and explain right away. Sometimes I will channel more than one person. So I'll get like 2 or 3 different instances for people. I'll try my best to differentiate between them. I kind of like to refer to it as piggybacking. So they will give me, one piece of evidence that might fit for, or even like 4 pieces of evidence, and it might fit for, 3 different people. And then they'll just kind of keep giving me pieces of evidence until, I feel like I'm supposed to talk to one specific person. And then they will say, how they differentiate between the other 2 or however many. And then I'll kind of go right down the line with, exactly who I'm supposed to speak to and what messages I'm supposed to relay, okay? Carrie Ann, that's a great question. Yes, a lot of people have mediumship qualities. If you've been with me before, I always say mediumship is not some special ability that people have or don't have. Everyone actually has it in one form or another. It atrophies over time, but it usually shows up, especially when we are younger. When we're toddlers and so on and so forth, they usually take on the impression of an imaginary friend. They are able to experience, their past life memories a lot more, and all of that ties in with mediumship. of course, in today's day and age, especially in like the Western world and our society, we kind of teach children to disregard that and, to, focus on the real world or things that are just a lot more easily tangible. And so, unfortunately, that, creates a society that their natural ability, atrophies over time. So yeah, I like to tell people about that because, I'm not better than anybody. No medium is like, somehow spiritually more qualified than another. You know, everyone has the capacity of learning and, redeveloping it. So yeah, I don't want to like ever give the impression that, I just know more. That's simply not the case. Every medium has had to like redevelop their skills. So it's just something for you to know. Good question though. I encourage lots of questions. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate it. Okay, so again, great grandmother figure. So I'm already getting the impression I'm supposed to be speaking to two people. First is a great grandmother figure, and the other is, just a regular grandmother. So this is going to be fun trying to differentiate between the two. So bear with me. Okay. I'm getting like a initial for B. So sometimes I can see like the actual deceased person's name, or it's someone who's like within the family that they're wanting to discuss about. Getting a B initial, and then it ends with like a short A. It's kind of weird because I'm kind of getting like Becca, Bertha, which I wouldn't think that's a typical name. But I've been wrong before. So I am still learning with names. So it could be something just similar to that. Okay, so one of them is expressing to me, they were at the tail end of their life. They lived a long life. I want to say 70s, 80s. September is coming through very strongly. So usually I get like a birth month or a month which someone has passed. But you know what? Sometimes they like to give that of one of the other family members. Especially if there's recently been a birthday around there. Okay. So yeah, getting September coming up. I'm kind of getting this energy of like, as much as I've lived my life and I have lots of family around me, how she comes across is like there's a lot of closure around her passing. Like she felt like she was able to do all that she could in life. And not a lot of people get that. But it's a beautiful energy in how it comes through. Like I've just made peace with my life, how it's ended and whatnot. And she's even describing to me, like, at the tail end of her life, just almost like expressing it to the universe, like, okay, I'm ready to go now, ready when you are, so to speak. She's also giving me this image of a younger child within the family. This could be the person I'm actually supposed to be talking to, and this could be a memory I'm being shown, she keeps showing me like this child or the person I'm supposed to be talking to pointing at like a mark on her forearm. I don't know if it's like a birthmark, if it's a scar or something. But it's interesting because every time I look at it, there is a butterfly. Like, I don't know if she's trying to say like it was butterfly shaped or something. And it's interesting how she comes across with this. Like, she constantly gives like a new story for this mark. You know how sometimes people make up stories surrounding, their birthmarks and whatnot. But it comes through like in a very joking manner. Hi there. Nice to see you. Okay, so got grandmother figure, September. Interesting birthmark on forearm. Beating. Seems, I don't know. Despite not being quiet in nature, she likes a lot of quiet hobbies, is what I'm picking up. Like, keep seeing puzzles. And it's kind of like the cute, cheesy puzzles, is what I'm getting. Like birds and flowers and stuff of that nature. But she keeps showing me, like, I guess her collection of puzzles that she would do. I'm wondering if she even kept them like together. Sometimes we keep them together and glue them and like frame them. She's just showing it to me as like a collection. Okay. So let's see. What else do we need to relay? Is there anything else that I'm supposed to say? So there is I don't know if it's her or somebody within the family living in Wisconsin. She's just kind of giving me pieces of evidence so that way this person knows who I'm speaking to. Now, something to keep in mind, sometimes what happens when I'm piggybacking is I will get random tidbits from two spirits, like I mentioned before, but I won't be able to differentiate right away from one or the other until they let me know. But they'll give like a couple of references that, both of their people can understand about them. But like I said, I can't differentiate it until they deem that they're ready for me to. So yeah, there's a Wisconsin reference within the family, somebody that lives there. Hi there, Jake. These are spirit led, so I just acknowledge anyone and everyone that pops in and when they do. So if you stick around, I might. I can't promise anything because mediums can never promise to reach someone in particular, and those that claim to do so are actually psychics. So, they're reading off of their sitter's energy. Mediums, we have to wait for the spirit or the energy to, present themselves to us. So I'll see, but at the moment, I'm channeling two grandmother figures, okay? And for those of you who are not quite sure if this is for you, it really depends on if most of the evidence applies to you, okay? And if it does, don't be afraid to give me feedback. I'm not saying, I don't want to ever encourage someone to just kind of like volunteer information about this person. The only thing that I'd ask for is just feedback on what I've already said. I don't want to know anything outside of what I've already mentioned. Just because the best readings are always objective in nature. I have to kind of trust them to lead me around and see where this goes. Um, and if I were to be given information, I'd be only looking for anything to corroborate with what I've just already told, and then disregard everything else. So I really suggest, don't volunteer information, but feedback is helpful. So that way I can understand how that is fitting and then move on from there, okay? Are these grandmother figures together? See, usually I have a symbol for that, but you know what's happening? Okay, thank you for that. So I'll try my best to explain this, but how it's being shown to me is I have a pair of grandmothers together, but then I have two grandmothers that are separate. So I'm supposed to be talking to three people? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to be talking to three people because these two grandmothers are separate. So they're giving me, okay, who am I supposed to be focusing on first? Okay, I'm supposed to be focusing on the grandmother figures that are together. Okay, so what I channeled before, Steph, yes, definitely. So what I channeled before when I mentioned I was meditating earlier is coming through again. So I'm going to explain it in terms of like my own backstory because I find that's like the best way to kind of, for you to be able to relate it to what might be going on here. My grandmother, Fire, she never really got to know her own mother. And like that really plagued her whole childhood, even as an older woman. And and I'm actually getting a sense of this one of these grandmother figures. For some reason, not being an active role in the other grandmother figure. So I do feel like they might very well be related. But it's almost like the message of them being together is a message within itself. Is that, something that was very much unresolved when life got resolved when the younger passed and they were able to reconnect is what I'm being given. I have a great grandmother, Bertha, and September is my dad, which is past birthday, and my brother. Okay, good. Keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to talk to you after I'm done with these two grandmother figures, okay? Like I said, I have to kind of go down the line by who they want me to address first. So I'll get back to you. Okay, so what am I supposed to let them know about this situation? Yeah, I just keep getting the sense of, as soon as this younger grandmother figure passes, like it's just the closure is there. And I feel like I'm supposed to relay this message to is like exactly when they transitioned, their mother, was actually helping them transition. I have a great grandmother who my mother didn't get the chance to know growing up, and I didn't either. But like, see, on my end, I'm sure I'm supposed to talk to you but on my end, what I'm getting is, there's like a string of it. Like, we all know and can acknowledge generational wounding, especially in terms of mothers and fathers. But like I keep getting like in this the matriarch's line, like there's just a lot of instances where families are mothers, daughters, sons keep getting separated from their mother in one way or another, whether it's like a passing or they don't have the financial stability to like watch them, so they they have somebody else take care of them for a time. I keep getting like repeated scenarios of that down the line here. And then how this is coming through is just like for one person specifically, I feel like that was resolved as soon as they transitioned. So for instance, and like I mentioned, they were actually there and when she transitioned as well. So they're going to use my late Papa Fire's instance, because he kind of had a bit of closure on his end and was able to pass rather peacefully. His mother kept showing me over and over of her taking his spirit, and they would go and travel somewhere away from his body. And keep in mind, I was in hospice, so I got to kind of be a quiet observer of this, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because she's giving me this exact scenario, when it was her turn to pass, but with her mother. Like, she was the one to help them transition. And even like the days, prior to her passing, I just keep being shown what happened with my grandfather, where she would, take him with her. They would travel to somewhere. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be told. And they would come back. And then I could always sense when he was back within his body, and he hadn't passed yet. But regardless, the whole reason why I'm mentioning this is because I'm actually being shown this happening with her. So you might have even noticed, like, with this grandmother figure, them kind of being in and out of it. Usually it comes almost like memory fog or like disassociation. And that's kind of how it's explained to me. And so now I'm seeing it kind of down the line again. So, okay. Now I feel like I'm supposed to be talking to America. So give me 1 second. I've got the butterflies in Scar. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm supposed to be talking to multiple people. So Jen Fuller was the Bertha reference in the September. I am definitely supposed to talk to her. I definitely felt that. Carrie Ann, the butterfly scar. Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure I don't leave anyone out. Because, I am I am forgetful. My guides will do their best to remind me, but I'm limited. All right, so I think I'm supposed to talk to first Ashley. Okay, good. So again, that thing is being expressed to, with my grandmother feeling like there was this gaping hole that her mother, of this role that her mother should have played within her life. And she's giving me distinctly I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice, clairaudiently. She's wanting to relay. Okay. So some of you guys know I'm into astrology, on a very novice level. She's giving me, though, in terms of her soul's growth, she was never supposed to, have her in her life, as sad as that, seems. And, it's not to say fate isn't escapable or anything like that. It's just there's something about her chart, especially within her moon sign in the house that it's in. She was never supposed to have her actively within her life. And, you know, thank you. I appreciate that. They're giving me in terms of my grandmother again, where a driving force for my grandmother was this wounding that she never got to, have her mother. She passed when she was about 3, and they keep showing it to me. And this has driven a lot of aspects within my grandmother's life. Even as being as old as she is now. This is supposed to drive you towards a lot more spiritual, how would you put this? It's not spiritual goals, it's to shape your spirituality. I know that's a really weird thing to say. I gotta honor what she's giving me. For instance, best way I can describe that is with my grandmother. It pushed her into religion. A very strict one, but one nonetheless. But it pushed her to, her own spirituality within religion. And became a very driving force because she was promised that she would see her again in a resurrection, and everything. We obviously know that's not the case, but that's what she was pushed to do because her mother's death was kind of hanging over her for so long. And what I'm being given is like, this is supposed to be an active role within your life because it was always meant to be a driving force to something greater than yourself. And she's really sorry for that, but she's also, again, she's giving me I didn't really have a choice in like how the cards laid, so to speak. What else do I need to share with them? What else am I supposed to mention? I am getting, she sees that like there is one like almost last surviving heirloom. I don't know if it's a picture because I keep being shown a picture, but that's kind of like more personal to me, so it might not be the case for you. She's just wanting to discuss this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just honor whatever she gives to me here. And she's giving me also too, like, you are the heirloom as well. In a sense of like, you are all the best parts of her living on. And that's what she's giving me. Yeah, you are the heirloom. I've never heard it being put in such a way, but that's what she's giving me to give your mom, Ashley. and some not so great things. Don't shoot the messenger. But I keep getting a reference to you, and you've got my temper. But mostly all the great things, the good things that I would want, to live on, she has, is what I'm being given. That's beautiful energy. So again, like, how I started with the long line within the matriarchal side, like all for some reason having some, not being able to have a their mother in one way or another. Just giving me, it's like, I don't know, that generation, like this generation has healed that aspect. And now we don't have to live on with that anymore. Not within that family tree. So it's like, I feel like it's stopped. It's very interesting energy, but what she's also giving me too is like when you transition, like that signifies the close of that. Like that family, that chapter for them, no matter how far down the family tree, it's going to end there. In terms of, that wounding. Let me see here. What else am I supposed to mention to her? What else am I supposed to mention to her? Yeah. Again, she's signifying too, like, wow, we're talking about this a lot. So when it is your mother's turn, actually, to transition, I'm not saying it's like a year from now or anything like that, but she is giving me, she's going to be the first one to actually help her transition. She's taking on that responsibility. Because I just keep being shown the whole process being repeated within the mother's dynamic, and then like a nice close to that chapter when it is her turn. It's very beautiful energy. I know it's hard to, outside looking in, I'm sure it'd be hard to look at it as a beautiful thing in terms of death, but that is how she's explaining it to me. Is there anything else I'm supposed to mention to her? So this relates a lot. Thank you. You're very welcome. She is wanting, I feel like we're kind of closing down on all she wanted to mention. There is one, I'm not quite sure can you show me within the family dynamic, within the family tree, where this person is? I don't know if this is a niece or something. Anyways, I do feel like this person is living within the family. What is it that I'm supposed to mention about them? What am I supposed to mention about them? Okay. 9, 8, 9. Sorry for the long pause, guys. There's just, can't quite make sense of it. She's just showing me like her at a particular age, 8 or 9. So if she isn't that age yet, I just feel like there's an event that's going to happen there. If she has already been 8 or 9, then we're wanting to discuss an event that happened around there. I know that's kind of confusing. They don't work on time constructs, Time is very much just a human thing that we've created. They don't work on that. So trying to gauge time frames is a little difficult. But yeah, I just keep getting like, I don't know if this is, definitely feel feminine energy. I'm not understanding how this is fitting in though. There's just something pivotal about this time frame. Can you show me what it is exactly? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So sorry about that. Ashley, when you were 8 or 9, there was an instance where you had actually talked with one of your grandmothers on the other side. It could have been a great grandmother, but I feel like there's an instance that couldn't readily be explained when you were around that time frame. I think you accidentally like channeled or something. And like I'm even getting like an instance with your mom kind of being in the same room, kind of like observing and like not knowing what to think of it either. This is a confirmation from the other side that that was actually, yeah, that really was what happened. They were kind of, I don't know. It strikes me, I don't have the exact words that were said, but it kind of strikes me as when, we have a child that has an imaginary friend and, they swear that up and down they have this imaginary friend. And, something weird would, happen where they were given the name of their imaginary friend and it happens to be, someone who has passed on within the family. It kind of like strikes me as that. It's just like a kooky instance where we actually like put two and two together and we actually think, yeah, I think you accidentally channeled someone. That's how it comes across. If you can't recall it yet, it's going to click soon. But she's kind of like giving me a, yeah, that was me, or even might be her mother. And she's kind of like giving me a calling card, so to speak. But she's like, yeah, she wants to reassure you that that actually really was what happened. She just wanted to like be there for you guys in that moment. She does send you signs quite frequently. I just don't think you realize them as signs. My mom's shaking her head, yes, okay. Well, as long as you understand. What sign is it that you keep showing her? I'm getting, is it, okay. It's that one. What other one? She likes to send you little birds. I keep getting like, that little head tilt that animals do, like just looking at you. And I keep getting like that instance happening. But another thing is like a song that's coming through. How she's explaining this to me, it's kind of like, it's coming across as like a lullaby for, a child that you would just sing. But I'm actually getting, again, that strong sense that it was maybe something that she had sung to you, when you were very little. And it's like, it's a random song. Like, how sometimes we can, hear the sunshine song, My Little Sunshine, amongst other things. It kind of just strikes me as that. But she's using music to kind of give a message of her own to her. Like it might just pop up on the radio as what I'm being given. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, because I feel like she definitely likes to get her messages across through those means. Okay, is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay to them? Anything else at all? In terms of, so in terms of your mother, Ashley, there is a slight, this might already be on her radar is what I'm being given. She might have like a slight physical concern, some type of ailment. Can you describe it to me, please? Yeah, I just feel like she's kind of, something in the back of her mind she's kind of like worried about and might be considering getting tests done. I don't know. It just feels concerning on her end. I feel like I'm accidentally like channeling her somewhere over the rainbow. Yeah, that would definitely fit the bill. It's just, it's something, that strikes me as, a mom would sing as a lullaby. What is it that she needs to know about this? Second opinion is what I'm hearing. So if she hasn't already gone to like a second doctor and run a second test, I would definitely, now keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. That's why I will always tell people, hey, go seek out a professional, but I will say, it's best to get a second opinion. That's what she's giving me. So yeah, just keep that in mind, okay? Is there anything else? Yeah. That last message is really just like, really keep that in mind about, the music. Because I just keep getting like radio turning and then like hearing a song and like, oh, and getting like that that warm fuzzy feeling from it. But yeah, so keep that in mind. So Tawana, so those types of things, those are, psychic readings. I am technically a psychic, but I actually devote all of my time and energy more to mediumship. So that is something that you would, ask like a lovely tarot reader or a psychic to look into for you, okay? You're very welcome, Ashley. Very welcome. Okay, so I know a couple of you are kind of waiting on me too, because I was supposed to talk to at least 2 other people that I know of. So let me get a quick drink, sorry. Oh, Fancy, you're very welcome. Tawana, you're very welcome too. No worries. All right, so who am I supposed to talk to? Can you show me who I'm supposed to speak to? Okay, so the person that I was supposed to talk to about, it's like a butterfly shaped scar or something. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but it is coming up. So please come forward and let me know. And then I feel like the one reference towards a Bertha in September, your message is going to come up, I think, very quickly after her. Okay, so sorry, I don't like to keep people held up, but I'm just relaying to how it feels like they're going to come through for me, so that way I can let you know what to expect, Okay. All right. So, butterfly scar. Okay, butterfly scar in September. Bertha husband was also born in September. Okay, so some of you relate to that. Okay, so let me just go ahead and bring through some more evidence, so that way we can, be absolutely sure who it's for, and there's like no confusion. All right. So okay, who am I supposed to be? Okay, so this is where another grandmother figure is coming through. And like I said, I channeled quite a few of them at the beginning, so I wasn't, entirely surprised that I was going to be piggybacking. So your brother also had a scar on his forearm. Yeah, so perfect example of piggybacking. I always liken feeling and sensing spirits to like getting a bunch of whispers in the ear. But they're just that, they're whispers. So because there's no tone definition, I can't differentiate between person from person. Whispers, they don't have any tone to them. So it's kind of hard to differentiate between them all. So I'll be given like a couple pieces of seemingly vague information. For instance, the grandmother figure, the scar on the arm, things of that nature. Something that seems specific by itself, but really isn't, and is actually vague because multiple people are coming through with that. They'll give me something like that, so that way everyone who can relate to that can just keep their ears peeled, so to speak, because they're gonna one by one come in from there. Okay, so that's actually a perfect example. It's good to know that that is also associated with him too. So let me see here. So yeah, again, when I'm channeling this, I keep getting someone who is very quirky about this scar. They always have a different made up story surrounding it, or they made a joke about it. I don't know, it's contagious though, regardless. It's just funny. All right. What am I supposed to mention here? What am I supposed to mention here? Hi, Steve Walker. I really appreciate you opening up to me. I really do. I will ask, if you're hoping to get a reading from me, I like to tell everybody, please don't volunteer information about your loved ones. As much as I would love to hear about it, the reason why is if I were to go into a reading and have them come through, or somebody else's loved ones come through, my brain will unconsciously try to be subjective and only look for instances surrounding your situation, which, just mediumship in itself has to be extremely objective for it to work. So as much as I love that you're opening up to me about your person, please don't volunteer information. I will only ask for feedback revolving around something I've already mentioned. For instance, the scar or someone's name and something of that nature. But other than that, I really have to kind of keep all other information, at bay, so to speak. Okay. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And this is not just for me. This is for all mediums, Okay. So funny instance surrounding this scar. What is going on here? I am getting a sense of a masculine here who's could be joking about this scar here. Sorry, I don't mean to look at my own arm. It's just it's unconscious. Let me see. Could have not just been NASCAR. It could have been other instances as well. Maybe other scars, but just ailments in general. If they slip and fall, they'll make up a story that's egregious to get a laugh out of somebody. I don't know. It's just, I think he's just fleshing out his character, so to speak. Very big jokester is what I'm being given. I do feel like I'm getting a reference to, which is it again? Okay, thank you. I think it's October. And like I said, when I get months, usually this can be a month where someone, was born or a month of passing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the person I'm channeling. Sometimes they will give me a month of, of a birthday or a passing that's also of someone significant within the family. That's happened so many times. So I just have to let you guys know in case this is your first time hanging out with me. So let me see. I'm getting a lot of like adrenaline junkie, so to speak. This is masculine. So I feel like, again, I was tuning into grandmother, but I feel like she's with this masculine because they're kind of coming together. But he's kind of just like showing me, like, kind of introducing himself to me. And like I said, jokester, also adrenaline junkie. I'm just getting images of like four-wheeling and, doing a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, they are definitely together. Is there anything else I'm supposed to? There's, I don't know, I might be talking to a mother figure or supposed to be talking to a mother figure. It's just kind of funny. Keep getting, there was a place that you would take them to, let out all their adrenaline, so to speak. But I'm also getting like, yeah, I'm just getting it in terms of thanks for taking me there, even if you didn't really want to, for one reason or another. There's just something funny about that. Okay, so Jamie, you're kind of understanding this. Trying to keep track of who I'm all supposed to be talking to. So I know I'm supposed to be talking to a Jen Fuller eventually, and a Carrie Ann. Okay, so, but yeah, okay, so he's expressing, thank you for taking me to this place. So, like, just keep getting, it's not as dangerous as it could have been, is what he's giving me, but like, she was never crazy about taking me there. Okay, Jamie. Let me see. What else am I supposed to mention? Can you give me? I think he's taking me to his passing. I am okay. There's a couple masculines on this side too. I'm gonna try my best to differentiate between them. So, in terms of this person, I'm getting like a lot of It's affecting me in terms of the heart, like a very rapid heartbeat. But it's almost like it strikes me as children when they're born, we don't realize like if they're predisposed to one thing or another happening. Like all those cases where children have technically an enlarged heart, but we don't find out until they've already passed, whether they were older or younger. It kind of strikes me as that it's just like something that's kind of beneath the surface. We're not knowledgeable about until passing. Now I know that sounds very specific, but in reality, it really isn't. because it doesn't necessarily have to be the heart. It could be like, I don't know, like being asthmatic and not realizing that, they're asthmatic. There's just something here about having a hard time breathing and then an elevated heart rate. And I feel like it's just something that has been kind of beneath the surface that we didn't like realize there was actually something wrong. And so like when outside forces come into play, it makes us more susceptible to having serious harm is what I'm being given. Okay. Well, who am I supposed to be talking to? What am I supposed to mention? My little brother died the same day he was born of his heart being weak. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I know there's a couple people I'm supposed to be talking to, so I'm trying to organize everyone. Okay, so there's one with a weak heart, one who's adrenaline junkie, who's jokester, and came across almost like a sun energy. I feel like there's two brothers as well that I'm tuning into. And when I say they're not brothers to each other, I mean two separate brothers from separate families that they're also kind of piggybacking off of each other. So please bear with me. I'm just going to try to organize my thoughts here so I can tell one from the other. Jamie, my son's passing, delirium was associated with it, which causes heart racing. Yeah. I want to pull some more evidence, though, just to make sure I'm supposed to talk to you. I know there's several I'm supposed to talk to. Don't get me wrong. It's just I want to make sure I'm not accidentally kind of bouncing off of everybody else. I want to make sure like I'm giving you the proper attention. Okay. So what else am I supposed to relay? What else am I supposed to relay to them? When I tune into him, he keeps taking me to like a pretty open field. I'm just trying to kind of get context surrounding this. Can you explain what this means to you? Can you please explain what this means to you? I'm wondering if he transitioned in this field. Is the reason why I say that is because he keeps giving me imagery of him in this field and then kind of like having a calm wash over him almost. And usually that's how it's described to me when someone does transition. So I'm just trying to make sense of this. There's something about this field and just feeling like an immense calm come over and like I couldn't be at a better place than this at this exact moment. I hope that makes sense to you. Yes. So he transitioned within this field that I'm talking about. Is that what I'm feeling here? I know it's hard to talk about, so if you don't want to relay, that's okay. He did. Okay. Well, then that's just, yeah. Then just take that as, definitely take that as he was happy the way it ended. Like, there's just something about the beauty of this field and this, like, the tranquilness of this spot. And like I said, it just feels like I'm so glad it's right here in this field this time. There's just something about that he keeps repeating to me. So he's got a joke. He's like, gee, I thought it was going to be something else entirely that I was going to die from, like something very dangerous. I don't know what this is. So please don't shoot the messenger, but like he's very much a jokester. Every time he just like comes through with that energy. So he's not wanting you to think in terms of his passing as like too sorrowful, and because he's very much not approaching it in this manner. He's like, yeah, gee whiz, I thought I was gonna go like and doing some dangerous stunt or something egregious, but like okay, well, thank goodness it wasn't that. He's showing me you kept his pillow or something, and he's showing me imagery of, I don't know, you might have even been just sleeping with this pillow for a time. He's like, Mom, I was actually right there. I think it was fresh, in those very raw moments after, someone has passed. Because I am sensing that you were mourning him doing this and crying. He's actually giving me, like, you might have very well sensed him very subtly. He's actually letting me know to tell you he was actually there with you in that moment. I'm glad he isn't, because it was so messed up what happened. I'm so sorry. We made a pillow from his shirt. Oh, okay. Well, he sees that, definitely. Yeah, I keep getting that imagery of you holding this pillow and again crying, but like he's showing me him like almost touching you, like very subtly showing you that he's with you. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay to her? Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay to her? The pillow from her shirt. That's really pretty cool way of honoring him and being able to be close with him. I did. I sat on his son's bed and held it. I feel him around me a lot, thankfully. Good. So yeah, this is just a confirmation on his end. You're not going crazy. It really is him, That's beautiful. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to tell her? Is there anything else I'm supposed to tell her? Okay. Sorry, bear with me. There's like a collection that he had. I don't know if it's specifically this, but like I'm just being shown a symbol of a collection. So I'm seeing like a collection of cars. You know how some people like save them. I'm seeing a collection of something, and then like, hey, make sure to pass these on to so and so is what I'm being given. So somebody in the family might actually have been, thinking about it recently, and this is like his stamp of approval for this. Yeah, I just feel like we're considering giving something of his collection over to somebody else within the family, and like, yep, I approve. Is there anything else I'm supposed to relay? Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay to them? It's like, by the way, just so you know, I'm chilling with Grandma. He gave it to me exactly in that way, too. I'm not paraphrasing. He has a Jordan collection, and I've saved some for his son. They're in a case on his dresser. Oh, okay. So, yeah. then he really very much loves this idea of giving it to his son afterwards. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Oh my God, yes, and that's what we called her. Yeah. I'm chilling with grandma, just so you know. Yeah, he's great. He loved her so much. Yeah, I can see that, definitely. I love his energy. He's very, very infectious. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relate to her? Anything else that I'm supposed to relate to her? He really wants to express, the biggest gratitude in terms of like, it's giving me the symbol of a baton. So like really, taking up people's responsibilities like right after they've passed, and like in terms of his family, like really stepping up and taking care of his family. And he's extending like the biggest gratitude for that. He's sorry that you had to and everything, but he is just so eternally grateful. Yeah. I feel like there's something more he wants to add to this. Yes, he was a beautiful soul, still is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Jen, I saw your message, hon. We will get to that person I'm supposed to be speaking to soon. Like I said, it gave me like that vague piece of information, and then we go down the line of how each and every one is different in their own circumstances and who they're hoping to speak to. I'm sorry, can you show that to me again, please? Can you please show that to me again? Oh, there's something there and I can't quite pinpoint it. I'm sorry. Just bear with me here. Can you show that to me again, please? Here's the baton again. Thank you. Yeah, it just keeps coming across of like taking back up all of their responsibilities. I will have to see if he wants to relay more to that. I feel like there's something there, but like my clumsy human brain is just like at a loss. Let me see here. What else can I mention to them? What else is it that you would like me to mention to them? There is? Okay. I don't know if his father is still around here. I do feel like someone should be kind of like looking a little bit more closely to their health. It might be something that he's kind of putting off here. He's like being a total guy about it. Like, just like rather not go see the doctor and do the same thing is what I'm being given. And he's like, yeah, he might need to be pushed by you to go see someone. From his instance, I'm getting in terms of being shown an image of blood. So it could be like blood pressure or something like that. Yeah, but I feel like if as long as we're monitoring everything, we go get a checkup done, and they'll give us some things to kind of look out for, and he's like, oh, and he's not gonna like this, but he might need to curb certain food. So sorry to be the messenger for that. Some issues a year or so ago, and he's been getting treatment. I know. Good. He's like, he's like, oh, he's not gonna want to hear this, but he might have to curb certain types of food. Like, it might even be salt, because I'm getting like an extreme amount of salt in my mouth right now. I'll tell him that he said that. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I am not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I've never gone to school for anything, medicinal. I am just a messenger. And like, he's just saying, hey, go seek a professional for this, okay? Is there anything else I'm supposed to relay to them? Anything else? He's actually giving me, that's kind of funny. Thank you for that. I think this is his last message for you, Jamie, is that so he wants me to explain mediumship. So people like assume that it's kind of like talking across the table from somebody when it comes to speaking from the other side. He wants me to explain it to you, though, so you realize that you actually talk to him pretty frequently, whether you realize it or not. He's giving it to me. He likes to give you jokes. Like, it's, how do I describe this? Can you please help me? Yeah, it's like, I just keep getting a sense of you going about your day and like running errands and stuff, and like you just think of something quirky or something funny just pops up into your head, and it makes you almost like chuckle to yourself. Yeah, he's actually giving me that. He's been giving that to you. Like, those are messages from him, is what he's giving distinctly. So yeah, mediumship is like that too. Like, for instance, he's wanting me to, thank you. He's wanting me to delegate, how my Nana comes in through, like, for me. For instance, there was a time when I was in the grocery store, just grocery shopping, and a song came on. It was a song that was like we were both partial to, because before going to the gym, the Shake Your Booty, you know what I'm talking about, the disco one, right? That came on, in the store, right? And I was like, oh, okay. Nana would be jamming out to this, right? And randomly, she cracked a joke to me about, because my husband and I were talking about working out. Like, yeah, I know Nana would be completely unhappy with me with, my lack of consistency in working out. And I heard her actually laugh, clairaudiently. And he's having me explain it to you, because like that's how he kind of comes through, is like little, I don't know, little jokes and tidbits here and there. But he wanted me to explain that to you because, don't feel like you have to be on the lookout for some type of crazy sign. Like, he's showing you signs readily and communicating with you frequently on your own. I do talk to him a lot in my head. Yes, it does happen a lot. So yeah, this is just confirmation on his end of things. Like, yeah, that really is me. Don't think you're a crazy person or anything. Like, this is actually him speaking to you. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay? Anything else at all? That's great. I feel like at the end of this month, okay, thank you for that. There's something about the end of this month, he's going to give you like a really big sign. But it's going to be actually a physical sign, is what I'm being shown. I'm being given like a symbol of a billboard. So it can be like quite literally when you're in the car and like being in front of your face, so to speak. It can be, I'm actually seeing your name, Jamie. Yeah, I just keep seeing your name, Jamie. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, so, okay. How do I explain this? Okay. So, a time ago, I kept seeing my own name like on random things within TV shows, movies, billboards too. And, it's like my birth given name, which is not really all that common, not that I think. And then I got like one big, like interaction later on. And he's actually giving me like a very similar scenario where you're going to have like your name on something or like constantly hear your name, and then I'm getting like this bigger sign revealed, and like that's just kind of like meant to keep your eyes peeled for the bigger sign that's to appear. Can you give me a nope? Okay, thank you. I was gonna ask him like, hey, can you give me like a clue as to what she needs to look for? He's like, no, it's a surprise. So I'm like, okay. Fair enough. Don't need to be treading on anybody's toes, corporeal or not. We'd have to travel for work, so I see them constantly. Okay, that's good to know. Thanks, Jill, for helping me. I appreciate you, hon. Oh my god, I have a store in Texas, and it was his name, which wasn't common. Jacoby, huge red letters. That's awesome. I'm going, yeah, so definitely something very similar to that. So that's probably why he was showing me that. Okay. Is there anything else I'm supposed to relay to her? Anything else? He's like, no, just be on the lookout for that. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your kind words, your energy. Thank you for allowing me to speak to your mother. Thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you guys for being patient with me, and thank you, Jamie, for sharing your son with me. He's great. I love him. Okay. I know okay. I've still got 3 people I know I'm supposed to talk to, so please be patient with me. I'm so sorry. I don't believe in timing my readings. I really don't. It just seems wholly unnecessary, and like, who am I to put a time limit on when spirits can speak to me? You're very welcome, hon. You're very welcome. I'm so happy that I was able to help you out. Very much. Caitlin, do you know who might be haunting my house or making things fall? What do they want? Okay, so something to keep in mind is in terms of hauntings, really what's going on is, when we are coming across places that are haunted, really we're just tuning into, they're like energetic stains in our environment, energetic echoes when tragic things happen, as well as a lot of people passing through. That in itself leaves energy behind. You leave energy behind no matter where you go, because it never goes away. It just transmutes. And the same can be said in terms of even tragic events or houses. They hold energy too, and so it's not necessarily something to be afraid of. I want to make that very clear. The things that we see in the media, paranormal stuff, it really is just an echo. It is really just, an energetic stain, as it were. And, I've had a client in the past for a private session where they were asking about an event that happened in the past. And really what was happening was, there was like a lower vibrational event that happened within the home. but it wasn't anything like a murder or anything like that. It was just like temperaments. And that energy never left that house. The energy just was kind of like bouncing off the walls, so to speak, right? And so when my client had moved in when they were a child, the energy of the house, the energy that was like stuck in the house of these people, which by the way, were still living at that time frame, the energy within that house was very kindred to the father's. Now, he was very expressed to me as verbally abusive, very just, and then when not so, very stoic and cold by nature, right? And this person would definitely fly off the handle. And how it was explained to me what was actually happening was because of the energy in the house was so similar to the father's, he was in turn generating more of that very same energy. And they went on to explain, that they had many like paranormal, events that happen. And some of it kind of like what you're explaining to me. But really what I was actually getting from it was the father's energy was added to that. And the fear, the anxieties from living with that person, right, were adding to the energy. So it was like snowballing. Everybody's energy, the past energy of the house, the father's energy, and like what he was actively putting into it, in the constant fear and anxiety of the whole family was just like snowballing this energy that had nowhere to go. It wasn't transmuting naturally. And that's kind of like how it's explained to me in terms of hauntings. Now, when it comes to, actual spirits doing it, because, sometimes spirits will move things on their own. Like my mom, she would find the remote, the TV remote, in her purse all the time. All the time. And it wasn't until later I realized who it was, which is kind of funny in its own, story. But when it comes to that, all I will say is that it is important to know that spirits can only communicate and interact with us in a loving vibration. The things that we see a lot on TV, where they're antagonizing us or like possessing us and all that kind of, that is pure drama. That's just for the ratings, I promise you. And then what people are actually picking up on in these haunted places is, it's technology and our intuition that is naturally telling us about the energy within this place. And sometimes it invokes fear. It makes us a little fearful. But then that in turn adds to the energy. Now again, so spirits can only operate within a loving and kind frequency. That's the only way. There are no such thing as malevolent spirits or demons or anything like that. Because let me tell you, I've channeled a lot of not so great people when living. And as soon as anybody, no matter how horrible of a person they are, when they transition, so does their human frailties, their human desires, all of the negative attributes that they've had when living fall away. They are not that anymore, and they're this highly evolved spirit once again. And it is that eternal spirit, that eternal soul that actually communes and interacts with us on a daily basis. But of course, our intuition can be guided by fear. So like something that could give us the heebie-jeebies can actually inspire fear and then therefore add to that energy. I hope I'm explaining this well. I know it's such a very complicated thing to kind of delve into, but just know, even if it is a spirit, they're not trying to hurt you. They're not trying to antagonize you or scare you. It probably is your great Aunt Irma or something, like, in all honesty. And so that's just something to think about. Just try not to be fearful of it, because your fear is going to cloud your intuition when it comes to that. Oh, thank you, April. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's great. And honoring them, leaving offerings and stuff, like I do that with my loved ones too. Like you'll see, I keep Nana with me. That's her urn right there. Um, Papa, my Papa just passed, 2 weeks ago, and so I have a locket of his hair. So like they really do love and appreciate, how much we can honor them, after they've passed. So yeah, definitely honoring them in the house is great. It's great, and they always pick up on that. Sorry about that. I'm having to go through all of these things. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Hannah. And that's good, Kayla. So yeah, that right there is just your intuition kind of like trying to let you know, hey, just so you're not surprised, you can expect something. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Today is like the first real day I'm kind of back. So I'm very grateful to all of you guys for really being patient and understanding with me and letting me kind of like work through the kinks again, because I did have to take quite a bit of time off because this was a very, I think it's the hardest death I've ever had to experience. And so I just want to say I'm so eternally grateful. Thank you guys so much for, being patient with me as I kind of work through everything and whatnot. But yeah, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Very welcome, Carrie Ann. Okay. Enough about me. Let's get to the real reason why we're here. All right. So, who am I supposed to be mentioning here? Okay. I'm supposed to be talking to I feel like they're on here right now actually. So, this could be a feminine with that butterfly like scar on, I guess, their forearm. So I feel like I'm supposed to be talking to them now. Thank you, April. I appreciate it. Okay, so let me see. What am I supposed to mention? I'm also supposed to tell, there's another person with Bertha in September. My guides are reminding me to remind this person. We are still going to talk about that as well, that those people are going to come through. So feminine, butterfly, either like scar or, okay. What do I need to relay? Okay. I'm supposed to be talking to a feminine who has lost I think their father. I'm wondering, okay, is that the Bertha reference again? Is that it? In September? Okay. All right. I think I'm supposed to actually be talking to them now. Okay. Getting a reference to doing something, could even be putting them at their like their final resting place. I am seeing like a tombstone, but typically they are symbols within itself. So this could even be like a site where we keep someone's ashes. I keep getting like putting some type of memorabilia like right there. Yeah, he's just giving me like message received. So I'm wondering if this is like a card or a note. But yeah. I named my first car Bertha. Huh, that is weird. Okay. So I think I'm supposed to be talking to two different people. Again, like I said, you would think Bertha and September and Dad would be like something very specific. But like I said, spirits have a way of like being able to give like one seemingly specific piece of information, but really it's incredibly vague. And then like we're supposed to kind of go down the line there. So let me just kind of like honor everything that's being given to me. Okay, so I feel like I'm only supposed to be talking to people that can relate completely to the Bertha instance. September, as well as, what was it again? Can you please show me that again? I'm so sorry. Bertha, September, father figure. Yeah, I just keep getting like putting something on their headstone. He's like, I don't know. There's just something about that. Rocks have been left at his headstone. There's something else here, though. Can you please show me? Can you please show me what else I'm supposed to give to him? Okay, I don't understand this quite so much. So I'm just going to kind of relay the images exactly how they're appearing to me, and hopefully you can make sense of them. Sometimes, my sitters will be able to understand something a lot more fully than what I'm being given in the context of it. So he's showing me rocks. But like, you know how sometimes people, they will take very particular tools and be able to slowly chip away and sand away, I don't know, like either pieces of wood, can be rocks, slowly chip them away and then like make something of it, like etching. But that's the thing. I'm not sure if it's quite meant to be literal, because I keep getting the sense of like he was always the type of person that could make something out of nothing. And he's showing me like the rocks, and like typically like we don't think much of a rock. But then like he's the type of person that could honestly just make something out of an object that another person would kind of pass by. I hope that's making sense. But like that's the feeling I keep being given with that. So I have to honor it. I just don't understand the context of it, but hopefully you do. Great grandmother, September is deceased father's birthday. My mother had jewelry made from a rock that he found. Okay, he etched growth sticks for us and fix and make anything. Oh, so she actually had a piece of, that is so cool. Okay, so that's what he was showing me. He was showing me like actually having that done and made for her. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know, because it was honestly confusing me, but I'm okay. Glad that made sense to you. Let me see what else is going on here. So he's having me understand and relay people within his family, those that were close to him, worrying if, their passing was, what is the best way that I can put this for him? Some people describe a hard death, like something that was just painful or something to that effect. What I'm getting, though, is like his loved ones, like worrying that, see, I'm not getting necessarily as painful, but lonely, like being alone. Like, how do I describe this? He just wants to give the reassurance that he wasn't alone when passing. I'm getting a grandmother figure too. So this could be him saying she was the one to help me when it was time. He died in an apartment fire. I'm worried he was scared or in fear. He felt abandoned by his kids. And yeah, see, no, I'm not getting that. Like, he acknowledges that's what people around the situation felt. That's not how he's giving it to me, though, okay? Okay, thank you for that. This spirit wants me to explain that, and see, yeah, so I'm probably piggybacking right now because I noticed I went from you, Jen, to the other. So don't mind me. I'll be able to differentiate here very soon. This spirit that I have too with me, he wants me to relay that sometimes when we transition, especially when it's deemed a hard death or something that would be painful, he wants me to explain that there are cases when they're kind of able to leave their body before they feel most of that pain. He's wanting me to give that to you as a sense of comfort, is what I'm being given. Now, I don't claim to know all of the universe's ins and outs, but that has been relayed to me on several accounts, with people, and he just wanted me to kind of like give that to you as a form of like reassurance, okay? Yeah. Like one of my close friends actually passed a pretty, what people would, say was a hard death. And that's exactly what he gave me too. Is like he was actually able to kind of like leave his body before any, of the most pain was felt. And, but he's giving this to me to just give to you as a reassurance. Like, that was not the case. He didn't feel abandoned. He didn't feel alone. He did actually have someone with him to help him transition. So I feel like I was supposed to only kind of just relay that small thing for you, okay? Is there anything else I'm supposed to relay? Is there anything else I'm supposed to? Okay. I do feel like I'm supposed to go back to Jen here, okay? But yeah, he just wanted to come through with that small message. Thank you, Samantha. I appreciate it. Thank you. It brings me comfort that he had someone to help him transition. Good. And that's all he wants. All right. So now I feel like I'm supposed to go back to Jen. Okay. So where was I before? Okay, rock etching. Okay. Rock and etching. So what else am I supposed? Okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. What am I supposed to mention to them? Oh, okay, thank you. So what I'm getting, gosh, okay, how do we explain this? So, you know what, I'm just gonna use my personal experience with this because I find that's a lot easier to come across because I'm not a really good orator. I don't claim to be, and so I could quite literally say this in the wrong way, I guess. With my grandfather died, there was a lot of not great things that came with it because we had to kind of watch him pass. But it was almost like the reason why I'm mentioning this is because when I have this person with me, he's wanting to like mention that he kind of wished he had, like, he was very happy to have his family with him. Don't get me wrong. But there were some not so great instances that he didn't want his family to, have to witness. I hope this is making sense to you, Jen. Like, how else do I need to relay this information? How else do I need to relay this? Yeah, I just keep getting like the impression he's literally leaving with me in my own body is just like, like I wish they hadn't seen me in very particular situations, and like feeling that left a very lasting impression. Like, I don't know. He's sad for that, but selfishly he's happy that he had everyone. I hope this is making sense. It's interesting because like what I'm also being given is like, because sometimes we're kind of able to choose when we pass, and that's been explained to me a couple times, but it almost feels like you guys kind of left him no choice in terms of like passing on his own. I don't take this in the wrong way. That makes sense, complete sense. Okay. Like, for instance, what I'm being shown is like when I was in hospice with my grandfather, I didn't I didn't let him be alone other than to like for them to bathe him and stuff. And it was like as soon as like I left the room, they had to notify me that he was taking his last breath. Like he was waiting almost until I was gone. But like with this figure, this masculine figure, he's like, you guys never really gave him a choice in the matter. Like he had no yeah, there was no chance in terms of like passing without someone being privy to that. He was put on comfort care. I don't know what that is. You might have to explain that to me. Comfort care. I mean, it might be similar to what I was actually referencing. Is it when basically they are, she probably means hospice. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because like for my instance, how they were showing me with my grandpa, he was unresponsive. He wasn't able to talk or anything to that effect. He wasn't able to move on his own. He wasn't even conscious, really. So they had to, they just made him comfortable, so to speak. Like they gave him pain meds and things of that nature so he could just kind of sleep until he passed. So comfort care. And that's what I would think. It's like hospice, but on meds to make him comfortable until they pass. Yeah. And that's exactly how. Okay, cool. And that's probably why they were using, my poppy as like a reference for that, because that's exactly what was, what was done for him. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's just saying like, you guys didn't really give me much of a choice passing without someone in the room. But he kind of gives that to me as like a joke. He wants you guys to know, and I say you guys, it's not just you. I do feel like, sorry, they keep referencing my papa and some more raw moments. Sorry, I am fresh back, so don't mind me. I keep getting like certain people giving them permission to pass, and having that talk with them. And like you might not have, some people might not have noticed, like if he knew that this conversation was had, but like he's giving me like, no, he like knew full well, like, and he was very able to hear everything that was said on his behalf and everything. So if I don't know if this is you or someone else within the family, but like I keep getting like an expressed permission for him to go, and he's grateful for that. Okay, sorry. And I was doing so well, not crying. Yeah. He just wants to give you his gratitude for that, because that really helped him when it was his time too. Oh God, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not making this about me, I promise. I'm like, it's literally was just like a week and a half ago, and I'm still trying to like reacclimate myself to reading, so please do not mind me. Yeah, he's just wanting to express, thank you for that. That really helped him. Yeah, we told him it was okay. He was a wonderful father. Okay. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay? That analogy that I was given earlier is coming back around, where, we see a rock and we don't think much of it until we kind of like have someone in our life to make the most of it, And he's actually giving that to me, like, in a sense of you and his family. Like, you guys might not think that you were such a big part of his life, but really you guys were. And there's just something about how thank you for that. What he's giving me is like, he is the rock in this instance. He didn't really think he was such a, I don't know, such a pivotal role. And he's given me the instance of like his family is the one that's kind of carving and, making him into this beautiful, I don't know, this beautiful piece. Like, you guys had that effect on him. He's like, he didn't really think much of himself in terms like, yeah, he was a family person, but like his self-esteem wasn't there. And it wasn't until he transitioned that he realized just like, how much of a role he played in everyone's life after he passed, and how much you guys refined him, Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, I appreciate that. Don't make me cry. Gosh. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's yeah. That's his biggest message, is like how you guys refined him. What is it? What else am I supposed to? Give my love to everybody, is what I'm being told. I think there needs to be a conversation, if there hasn't already. A conversation between like his family. Like, okay. He's giving it to me in this way. He sends different signs for everybody within the family, but sometimes they collaborate with each other. And he wants to encourage everybody within the family to talk about all these different signs that they're getting. Some of them might not even realize that they're signs is what I'm being given. Some of them might just think it's like a weird instance. But I don't know if this is past or present. But I just keep being shown a conversation with everybody, like, and somebody mentioning something that happened, like, oh, that's weird because this happened with me. And, and I feel like in some people, in the back of their mind, like wondering if it's a sign from him. And he's like, yeah, that's me. I don't know. Again, I past, present, future tense, those are foreign concepts on the other side. Like, they don't work in terms of that. So like, it's only us humans that think like that. So like, yeah, I don't know if this conversation has already been had or not, but it's definitely a thing. Even my daughter keeps seeing feathers. Yeah. And there's one other thing. I feel like there's one other person though that I'm supposed to be talking about though. I just don't know how they fit it in. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Let me see here. What am I supposed to? Oh, you want me to show that one? Okay, we'll do. Okay, so if you've been with me for a while, like I usually always, basically refer to this book to like help others like through their grieving process and whatnot. But he actually is wanting me to show you this book because I feel like it would be helpful to you. It's Signs, the Secret Language of the Universe. I know it's inverted. I'm so sorry. It's by Laura Lynn Jackson. She's a famous medium, not like yours truly, but it's for a good reason. She has wrote an impeccable book to really explain things in a way, that others can understand. But yeah, I feel like that book is going to be helpful for you in some way because he was like, show her the book. Oh, he's actually showing me the feather on it too. That's funny. What else was I supposed to mention to her? We will get one immediately. Yeah. Let me know what you think of it. I love hearing feedback from it. It's a great book. And I always tell my clients, especially if I notice someone is having a harder time and really going through it, like I always tell them, look, just get this book. I've even bought it for a client once. So yeah. What else am I supposed to mention to them? What else am I supposed to mention to them? Give my love to your mom. That's interesting. He kind of, like, at first it was give my love to everybody, but like he said that, give my love to your mom. Okay. What else am I supposed to mention here? Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay to them? Is it for Christmas? There's something that's put out. I'm crying with joy. My mom is also listening with me. Oh, he literally just, okay, that's cool. Let me see. There's something that he actually, I don't know who it is now. Someone within the family, they have something that is directly related to him. Like it could have been one of his objects. It's weird though, because I was asking if it was like a seasonal thing, like for Christmas or something like that, right? But like I didn't get like an exact yes or no to that. But I keep getting like this object that was his being moved from like place to place around the house. Like we're not quite sure where we want it most. I don't understand this, so like please correct me if I'm wrong. But like it's just weird in how he's showing it. Yeah. Just moving from place to place within the house, and we're not sure where to keep it. It could be, it very well could be something that your mom had and that was given to you. And then like the act of moving it around the house was something that was given to you to put into your house. I don't know. There's just something about that. And he's wanting me to relay that piece of information. So I have to honor it. My mom just gave his collection of cards to my son and brother. Oh, okay. Well, then that's definitely him just like saying like that's his stamp of approval for this then. He's definitely acknowledging this. There's some other things I think might not have happened yet. There's some other things. I just keep getting this sense of going through boxes and boxes of things. And then like some more ideas pop up into our head, like, oh, so-and-so would actually like this a lot, and they would get a lot of good use out of that. And he's like, yep, stamp of approval for everything, so to speak. Not necessarily just a collection of cards. I'm getting like it might be something else as well. So yeah, it might not have already happened yet, though. But yeah, he just wants to let you guys know, like he okays 1,000% anything that you're hoping to like donate or to give to other family members. Definitely. He's showing me like I don't know if somebody within the family has done this. He's showing me like a picture of himself that's in somebody's home. And like just putting like some type of memorabilia like right next to it. It could be a car. But yeah, I just keep getting like a picture frame. And then like just putting like a token of remembrance right next to that frame. And he's just acknowledging that this was done for him as well. Is there anything else that I'm supposed to relay? Anything else? This is not the only time he's going to use someone to talk to you, is what I'm being given. And I don't know if it's necessarily me, because, there are a lot of us out there, a lot of mediums out there. He's going to come through for you again. You and Mom, he's correcting me. Yeah. And it's not going to be too long from now either. But yeah, he's going to use someone else to kind of get more messages across. But this is just like a promise, from him that, this isn't going to be the last time we we get to use someone to like get our message through. My daughter has a gift like you. Oh, that's great. So yeah, even more reason. So yeah, just know that, this isn't the last time you're going to hear from him, okay? There's definitely going to be, more messages that he's going to get across in some way, in some form, okay? Is there anything else that I'm supposed to mention? Okay, thank you. That was nice. I'm so glad that he came through for you. Thank you so much. Is he happy? Yeah, definitely. And, that's something to really like, I will say, when it comes to channeling people, that have passed, no matter how hard the passing is, they never come through with, they're unhappy or, in any type of pain. Sometimes when mediums and, even psychics, what they're actually tuning into is like their state of mind when living. So like there's been times where, I'll have a spirit come through, especially if it was like not, I'll put generally someone who is not so great a person when living. Sometimes they will try to relay a message like, hey, I was like this all the time. And they'll give me like a really insatiable anger and venomance towards people and, not great temperaments. But that in itself is only a message and a testament to how they were when living. See, now when they've passed and they're talking about, after, they've shed again those human frailties we talked about. After that, there is no sense of pain. There's no, like, yes, they acknowledge that, there is a physical separation from their loved ones, but they see truly just how much they do live amongst us and live on through us. So, it never comes across as a complete loss, so to speak. So, yeah. You're very welcome. Very welcome, Jen. It is a 3:06. So yeah, my girl's quiet time has ended. I should have actually gotten them out of quiet time before, but I'm gonna have to close down. Carrie Ann. Is there a Carrie Ann over here? Carrie Ann, there's someone for you. Oh, okay. They're giving it to me in this way. They wanted to get your attention, and it's almost like putting you into my reach, so to speak. So that way, they're going to come through next. Yeah, they're going to come through like another time. I do feel like it's going to be through me because there's this feeling of putting you in my sphere, so to speak. And then, yeah, I feel like they're going to use me to get a message to you some other time. I don't know why this is specific to right now, but I'm guessing that this is a promise. So yeah, okay. Is there anything else I'm supposed to say? That was really random. Is there anything else I'm supposed to tell them? Yeah, they just want to let you know they're going to use me to reach out to you on another live, okay? And I do these all the time, so I just feel like, and don't feel like you have to constantly keep track of when my lives are. I feel like it's going to happen organically, okay? It's just going to happen organically, so just like trust the process. Yeah. So I do stream every Tuesday, Friday, 1 through 3 Eastern Standard. But by no means feel like you have to keep tabs on all of my streams. This is going to happen organically, okay? But yeah, he just wanted to give you that like little promise of sorts. Divine timing. Yeah, exactly. See, you get it. You get it. Had to make sure she knew. He said it so sternly, though. I felt weird saying it like that, but he said it in such a way. Okay. Oh, thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate that. Jen Fuller, can we set up a private reading? Yes. So up there is my information. I don't know if you can see it because all of this TikTok stuff is kind of like there too. But my website, you can book a reading with me. I'm going to be honest, I'm like fully booked next week. So your best bet is like the following week. Everybody has tried booking me, for my bereavement time. And I've had to put them off to next week. So just something to consider. Now, it has my full booking schedule up there. So you are more than welcome to hop on and kind of like see when I'm available, see if that even works for you. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, lots of beautiful messages today, Cheryl. Oh, thank you, Kayla. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and being patient with me as I kind of, reacclimate myself to readings again and, being back in business, so to speak. I really appreciate you guys, all your kind words, your thoughts, your energy, and thank you so much for sharing all of your loved ones with me. Lots of great readings today, lots of great messages. Thank you, Melissa. You too. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Carrie Ann. You too. Thanks, April. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe out there, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Take care.